So.
Yeah, and I believe we have a pretty small map for 7 FFA. Although, yeah, this looks pretty generous. This should be fine.
What do you think about this
map?
map?
Power colony and 8 double starting power. Oh no!
Power colony, double power, and no good markets. So people might think, oh, this is a power robot found or something like that. Although there's no robot. The problem is on IO, if you go solar, you at night you are dead in the water. Oh, sorry, serious. And and it's very difficult to start with nuclear plants because nuclear plants is not a cheap building to build.
Yeah. Yeah. So scavenger could probably do it. Half price carbon, half price aluminum.
Anyway, being a power colony, I would like to see if there's a silly nuclear water tile, but there is none, so nobody can exploit it. We have scavenger found, Marlon tail, I like that found, nice water, nice carbon, this shadow on the iron and uranium, DT on the silicon.
Yeah, DT is a nomad here with $40 glass, $200 electronics. No way to make money.
I am worried about this.
Yeah.
And Swako Scientific
he can afford 9 electronics out of the 20 he needs.
On water, glass, iron, I like this. And Clippy on the salt, water, and carbon tiles. Did we miss anyone? Game Slayer. Game Slayer on the iron, uranium start. I am not sure about this start, but we will see. Maybe Game Slayer is looking at power. So let's tell me about why a nomadic start is not necessarily excellent here.
All right. So I think what he did was he realized, like he did claim to quarries 1 mine, the usual way you would level up. But then he cancelled those claims and went triple power instead, which is a way to do it. So basically, if he only had silicon and aluminum as income, he would never be able to afford this 20 electronics he would need to get to HQ2, which makes him dead in the water. But he got through that by placing triple nuclear plant instead, so we can buy everything now with this money.
Yeah, like
this is actually I like. I would have liked to see this as scavenger though. I'm disappointed Tudeback didn't do this.
But people are catching up.
Carbon and aluminum were half price.
People are catching up. Marlontail with a double nuke, and Clippy is catching up with a 1 nuclear plant, soon to be 2. So the power price is no longer rising. And Game Slayer too. Game Slayer has gone with double nuke as an elite HQ1. Yeah. So many people, especially DT and Game Slayer, is going to be sad about this.
I'm surprised Game Slayer could afford this, but I don't think this is necessarily bad. And so one thing I want to talk about is series and scavengers, because in this map in particular, scavengers I think have a pretty good advantage in that they can claim resources and not have them be diminished. So Malontail, for example, has a high uranium, a high carbon and high water. This is really, really valuable. Like, don't underestimate uranium on series. This will earn him easily 200k in a standard series game, unless someone else overcommits into uranium or founds on it. And then having a high instead of a low is a really big deal.
The first black market attack.
I kind of favor. Oh yeah. Alright, Tudeback thinks like me. So yeah, I was gonna say I really favor Marlental's position here, and Tudeback seems to agree. But yeah, DT did get the majority of that power money too, so he has a nice amount.
Yeah.
Not sure where he goes from here.
So if I were Game Slayer, I would be buying this steel as soon as possible, because this steel price might be rising, or maybe not, because there's only one other steel user who is making too many steel at this point.
You know what? I think the Game Slayer, he's on HQ2, he's an elite, he's holding a claim. I think he's trying to do a pleasure don't play here. Let's see, he just got enough money for it.
Oh.
Will he do it?
Probably,
Okay,
yeah, that is possible.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It wouldn't even be terrible, I think.
Yeah. So markets, rising markets. So what I wanted to point out was Clippy started with a Gund nuclear plant, but did not place second nuclear plant. But looking at this, people getting into a lot of nuclear plants and said, nope, I don't want power anymore. So scrapped that nuclear plant and went into glass, food, greenhouse farms.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, yeah, I think you should have committed to more than one at the start, but yeah, at this point it's really good to move out of it. Did he go into an HQ3 optimization center? So things are a bit strange there.
So going
optimizing
HQ3,
aluminum and silicon, both of which skyrocketed.
Going HQ3 optimization center is not bad, because people will see that, oh, this is HQ3, this player is not going to be scary, but you do have early optimizations, so as long as you are not too late in upgrading, you will be in a good position, I hope.
Yeah, and it does have hologram, so people think, oh, it's some random nomad with a black magic nuclear plant. So yeah, that might work out for him.
It might work out. We'll see.
Honestly, such a good found for this market. Like silicon and aluminum both skyrocketed.
Yeah,
that's what it's making.
DT does not have to make any other things.
Pleasure Dome, yeah, that's true. Gameslayer's Pleasure Dome is down, and I believe it's gonna make him as soon as this shipment of chemicals.
I want to see pirate. Like, yeah, there's an auction. Look at this. Place a pirate here.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who streams sniping, look, 23 chemicals.
23?
But yeah, once this lands, gonna make him 550 a second, I believe. It's solid money.
It's 80 chemical flying, so 40 if you pirate it.
How is it 80 chemicals flying? How many fits on a blip?
Let's look click the Pleasure Dome and see how many it stockpiles after it lands. So Pleasure Dome now has how many?
60.
60.
No,
okay.
Were correct.
30. Okay.
60. I thought the blips only fit 4. Oh well, whatever. It's 60. So yeah, it would have been a really nice pirate. But now it's a really nice Pleasure Dome. That doesn't mean he's winning the game though. There's a lot of ways to find revenue on a 7-player series game. Like right now, power is suddenly a good market again.
Yeah, power is a great market. You should be noticing this and build more power plant, or not scrap power plant in the first place. Which Thread likes to do.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't like scrapping too much. So what's good when you're making power here is after they nerfed the nuclear plants, I kind of feel like you need some optimizations on it.
Yeah.
So I would like line of nuclear plants and then optimize power to make it a really solid revenue income. Gameslayer has a triangle, they're 300 each.
Very vulnerable to EMP. Solid. But yeah, in 7 FFA you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah. And now DT is first to HQ5.
Yeah.
With his... Wow, look at the aluminum price!
Yeah. 154 aluminum price and still very, very strong silicon.
It is. And he's preparing for chem refineries, already pre-optimizing it. It's gonna make him a lot of money too.
Yeah, this is
so the difficult thing about an FA like this is there's so many good targets. Where are you gonna place all your EMPs? It's hard to choose a target, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to choose a target right now, I would choose DT's base near the colony. There's a lot of money being made there. There's a lot of money being made there.
The observation I have right now is that while Lone Tail being right in the center of the map of the players, they are watched by the most amount of players and attacked twice. And Tootback was also attacked twice. Got attacked twice.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
Gamester gets to HQ4.
Okay.
So I think Gamester got attacked by DT before. I think people have kind of this irrational fear of elites. Maybe it is rational, actually, I don't know. But yeah, usually if there's a lot of targets, elites seem to be targeted more than others. But yeah, his nuclear plants are safe so far. Super. And the second, no wait, there's a lot of optimizations going on. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so I definitely like an optimization-focused strategy, just in general on series, and especially in when there's more players than 4.
Currently,
Yeah, I would like to point out, usually power colonies, more than other types of colonies, tend to crash the on-world prices late game. Probably not an issue here. Probably not an issue.
yeah. Okay. What's blown up? Greenhouse farm was blown up. What do you think about this play? This black market choices. Swacko's greenhouse farm was blown up by dynamite.
Oh yeah. Well, I honestly never like it. But even if you really feel like, oh, food is such a strong market now, you blow up the one in the middle because a broken building doesn't give you adjacency bonuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't do it. Just EMP it.
Yeah.
EMP is much better use of resources. Dynamites are great for optimization centers, pleasure domes, patent labs, Offworld markets.
Yeah. Single high value
doesn't
buildings.
care. Basically, Swakkel smiled when he saw, oh, it's only a dynamite. Great. It didn't hurt him much.
Now it's back online, working.
Yeah, now it's back online. He lost 20 food max. That was not good. And actually, what I would like to see would have been pirates. Oh, I guess there are already pirates there. But yeah, this is like free food for everyone, since we know he will never get teleportation because someone else has it. Malontel has it. And we have a lot of money on a lot of money. A lot of players, not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sorry. Malontel has the most. Can you buy someone here? Should you maybe buy into Swakal?
Yeah, you can start buying to someone. Lich Shadow can be a okay target, but Lich Shadow should be able to defend unless this happens.
Sure. Yeah, he does. His money is invested in building farms and in a patent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a nice targeting, I think.
Yeah.
Not the most profitable sub, but he was the easiest sub to get.
It was the cheapest sub as well.
Yeah, the cheapest one. Really nice. Now he still has 200k. He needs to invest the rest of his money somewhere too. I would say just go for Game Slayer. He's the only one who opens stock. Buy your own stock, then buy Game Slayer.
Yeah.
Or well, what else could you do with your money? Like build 4 optimization centers and optimize. I don't know. I would definitely like to see a lot of optimizations in general all across the board.
Clippy agrees with you with 3 aggressive optimization centers.
I like it. I like it. Good choices too.
And DT.
I would scrap the power plants, I think. Go with
Looks
these triple camps here.
Looks like DT and Clippy are locked on to each other.
Yeah. Clippy seems to really suffer from a lack of claims. Took a remote. Aluminum. He has a hacker. I don't know. Doesn't his base feel a bit thin?
Yeah. Also, not only that base are thin, Clippy does not have access to the silicon market, which is excellent. Doing good work with DT.
Yeah.
So it might be worth to surplus those markets that you don't have access to.
Yeah, it could be.
Instead of
I was suggesting.
HQ has been upgraded.
Yeah.
There was a joke. What was it?
Optimization routine successful.
DT just chatted that was a joke, but I'm not sure what actually happened. I'm sorry. Anyway, I want to point out that DT did go into Game Slayer, which had those open stock, so it's a really, really nice stock advantage for 2D back going into that duel. The Game Slayer is fairly solid earner at this point.
Yeah.
That Pleasure Dome of his currently earning almost 1,000. It's in fact the only Pleasure Dome on the map for some reason.
Okay. I think Clippy should commit more to this chemical. Perfect chemical should have built more instead of idling power.
That's what DT is doing. So he has a quad of perfectly optimized chems, so they're earning $500 a piece.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That said, Clippy does have money advantage at this point. So, I'm not sure. 80k difference.
I kind of like what DT did. He scrapped all his optimizations, went hardcore into money earning.
Yeah.
Clippy basically should do the same thing, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and all of Clippy's base is frozen.
Oh.
Continue to improve.
Yeah, DT's catching up very fast.
Yeah, DT's got this. DT got this.
What do you think about
So the problem
Marlon
is,
and Tootback
three
situation?
of Clippy's claims are optimization centers right now, and they were great before, but now he needs money.
And they're idling too, which is also not great.
No, that's good. Like, you cannot invest money at this point because you have less than a minute until
Black market
you bought
is
out.
blind.
I mean, less than 10 seconds, honestly, or 20 seconds. This is a crucial moment. You should have prepared for it by scrapping these optimizations and try to get some more money out of it somehow.
So a lot of people have a lot of money. GameSlayer does not have a lot though. Tootback has almost buy on GameSlayer. I don't think GameSlayer has much chance at this point. Swakko has full stock on themselves, 400k on hand. DT finishes the buy.
Yeah.
Followed by Tootback.
So, followed by Tubac, exactly. That's what I want to point out. Wait. Tubac has no optimizations at all? Huh.
That is
Alright.
surprising.
I
How
kind
did...
of like Molontel now.
Yeah.
Look at this chain of stock going on. So if Molontel buys out Tubac, he will also get all of Gameslayer
Yeah.
and some of Blitz Shadow. And he also owns all his own stock. Well, Swakkel can do something about this, maybe. What do you think Swakkel should do here?
I think waiting for them to finish the buy is not going to win them the game. Because in 7
Maybe-
FFA, the price it just increases too much.
Yeah, I think you should buy into Molontel. Yeah, exactly. Keep the chain going. So if Molontel now buys Tubac, then Swakkel is suddenly winning.
Yeah.
And if Molontel doesn't do it, then I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, these situations are strange. Let's see. I want to say that if Molontel buys Tubac, he does not win the game. That is probably the wrong move.
Then what?
Oh, will he actually? What if the price increases super much? Maybe he will win the game if he does.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Malonte should buy Tootback because
Yeah.
there's Malonte will
So
become
much stuff.
Tootback will be spruced up. Games will be Malontel's.
Yeah, I agree. Do it. Even though people are stalking
83.
you. Yeah. So yeah, he doubled his stock price. That's why this can work. We'll see if it does. So Swakkel needs 500k to buy Molontel, and Molontel needs 800k to buy Swakkel. But also Molontel should be earning more with all of these subsidiaries.
Oh, look at this electronics price. 700. Is there anyone
Look at the
producing
water
it?
price.
Water is much much amazing than that.
Yeah, so look at Molontel's base. That high water pump we talked about. It said this is gonna stay high. And yeah, right now the profit on this is 1500 a second. Someone did fix
1k
it though with a
1k per
50K.
second for a single water tile. That is insane.
That is really good.
The black market.
Yeah, that's the power of Scavenger on Serious. Look, these
Yeah.
raw resources often become really expensive.
Like this,
That's probably a goonable tile, by the way. That's such a good tile, you should have gooned it.
yeah. Even 35k will be worth it at this price.
So, yeah, I think either Swakkel wins or Molontel wins. I don't think DT has a shot here.
We will have to see. DT can choose to help with my long-tail buy or buy out Swakko
Oh.
and
I might have to eat my words. He's making 15k a second with his triple silicon quarry and hacking, quad silicon quarry and hacking it up. But if he buys Swakkel, is that good?
well, DT doesn't seem to have choice here. Swakko is close, kind of close. Oh, Malonte was closer to buying out Swakko.
Yeah, so there's no way. He would need 2 million
Yeah.
now. He only has 800k. That's what I thought. But yeah, I'm really impressed by this actually silicon play. Like, it's hard to hack in a 7-player game. But he stockpiled 2000 silicon and started hacking it.
Wow.
And it actually made him a nice chunk of money.
And it's still on 186. Serious. This is serious.
Yeah, this is serious. serious. But yeah, so now he sold up all of his stock to speed it up. He bought all of Morontel, but he still needs 500k.
Let's hope an excellent
There's no way
click is
out
up.
earns.
Helps it. DT needs 400k, Malontel is 500k. But Malontel
Oh,
has
no.
more subs and more money income.
Optimization routines
Malenta did
successful.
just spend 80k on the EMP. That does not shut down enough money to be worth it, I believe. Wow, this is actually much closer than I thought it would be, but I
Yeah.
have to give it to Malenta.
So at this point, you don't buy black market unless it's cheap.
Yeah.
Mule can be great, like great denial for like Mule the
Well,
silicon you
maybe
have nearby your base.
a minute ago, yes. But this is over in 10 seconds.
The
Yeah.
black market is open for
Malontel
Yeah, Malontel will
95,
have it.
97.
Wow, what a game! Malontel!
Malontel gets
Yeah.
it!
Yes! Wow! Great job, Malontel.
Great job.
What an end. That was 7 FFA on series.
Mhm. That was an exciting match.
Yeah. And a lot of that was the stock play from Malontel. Perfect timing to go into Lich Shadow. They must have earned him a lot. Let's check his earnings from subsidiary.
Subsidiary
Ooh.
income.
1,300,000. 1,300,000. That's really good.
And DT got half of that with a single sub. It was very good value in that.
Yeah. Yeah, Clippy was a great sub. That's that's those triple optimization centers. If it doesn't win your game, at least it makes you a really good sub. All right, I don't know. Can we analyze, learn anything here?
I think the pace of the game was too slow for Elite to pay off. I mean, too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do think there was value in going into Pleasure Dome even if you're not elite. Actually, maybe the power prices, maybe I'm wrong in that. I do think Malontel would stand to benefit to get a few goons early game. He bought one this entire game for 35k. Usually you want at least one at below 10k, where you can put all your important buildings in general. What do you think about that? Do you think it's always necessary to get a cheap goon squad so you have some protected space?
Yeah, I think Chip Goon Squad is a good idea. Especially if you think you're going to be leader soon or you're going to be winning.
Yeah.
Because like Malontel was attacked several times. And when they become the leader, they become the apparent target. And at that point,
exactly.
it starts paying off. In the early game, it's not necessary.
And that's the point you should always be aiming for. You shouldn't think, oh, I'd probably not win this game, so I don't need goons. Like, if that's your opinion, then you're not going to win. So basically, what that logic boils down to, I believe, is always try to get some valuable goons, which means, like, don't spend your entire economy on it, but if you have 20k and a goon costs 6k, probably buy one.
Yeah.
You will get benefit out of it.
GameSlayer has pointed out that GameSlayer tried to get a nice silicon early, but 81% silicon core sample failed, and now the Elite had a problem with silicon supply. That was unfortunate.
He did actually have, so on like Sol 2 or 3 or something, he had a pair of silicon when the price was 100. But DT very rudely put an EMP there very early, hampering his early growth. I'm not sure where his initial core sample was. Yeah, I missed that one. But yeah, core samples also really underutilized black market. Maybe we should have an award for one of the days for how to use core samples as well. I often see that ignored when it's actually a really, really strong one. They buffed it recently too. It's now only a 40-second cooldown.
Okay, so before we move on, let's see. DT asked if he's the only one who got hologram, and no, it's Tootbag also got it. Okay, let's